Welcome into another episode of MnM Going Deep. I am your host, Kyle McCumber. That is my co-host, Cole Mueller. He's back. Let's hear your voice. He's okay. That's two in a row. He's back. He's back alive, better than ever. Um, MnM Going Deep, presented by nobody still, because we still don't have sponsors. It's okay. They
You got
will
to stop
never
saying
come.
that.
It's all right. I'm gonna keep saying it.
Make one up.
I
Dairy
was
Queen.
I was thinking about making one up. Presented by that neon sign behind me. All right. Um, the first thing I wanted to talk to you, I know we both have to do this quick. We're both on tight schedules. But the first thing I wanted to say to you is how right we could have both been about multiple things that we predicted in the beginning of our season preview episodes. One, I'm going to give it to you. Even though they got smacked this week by the Baltimore Ravens, the Denver Broncos are a solid football team. They made mistakes in that game, but they did have opportunities to maybe sneak out a victory or maybe be a closer game. Yeah, the score is very indicative of getting their ass kicked, but they got down to the goal line several times and didn't score. Two, my prediction of the Arizona Cardinals being feisty. Boy, are they a feisty football team. And three, New Orleans Saints sucking ass and selling the fucking team or selling the farm and Dennis Allen being fired because Marshawn Lattimore is now Washington commander. I just wanted to state how right we were at the beginning of this.
And taking it all the way to the beginning. When you said we both have somewhere to be, I got 6 hours and 10 minutes in the car, so I could film the rest of the season right now if we wanted to.
We
Um,
we aren't that good at predicting things.
the but yeah, I didn't catch much of the Broncos Ravens outside of the updates on Red Zone, and I kind of got the same gist of what you just said. Like it wasn't they weren't like outmatched physically. It was just they didn't have the skill player, big plays down the field and whatnot that the Ravens did. But shit, the Ravens are the best team in the AFC. Lions are the best team in the NFC. Game over. That's the Super Bowl right now.
Yeah, Lions are just running away with it right now in the NFC. A lot of talk about who's going to stop them. But let's get into some games. I don't know if I covered Thursday Night Football on the last podcast. I don't think I did. Thursday Night Football, Texans 13, Jets 21. Your Jets sneak out a big victory. Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers started to connect a bit in the end of that game and started looking like that old duo that you're very familiar with. How do you feel about your Jets?
Um, you look at the rest of their schedule and it's pretty easy.
It
I know we're
is.
not going to go through schedules right now, but like I remember taking a look just to see like, hey, is it possible? And it's definitely possible, especially if they start playing well on both sides of the ball. That roster we know is really good. It just comes down to can they play up to it. I think their defense is a little bit overrated. I don't think they're as dominant as people thought they were going to be. They kind of seem like they get over physical in the run game, but
Mhm.
um, Rodgers is Rodgers. I still believe in them. We'll see.
I think their toughest game left on the schedule is the Rams in week 16. Other than that, very manageable. I They do have to play the Bills again in week 17, by but by that point, the Bills might have it clinched and might not be playing starters.
And Texans, I'm not worried about. Let's be honest. I think the Texans are a little bit overrated.
I think they're a
You know
little
what I mean?
overrated, and then I think that their offensive line is behind the curve of what their offense needs to be. Like they're not able to protect CJ Stroud to the ability that he needs to be protected right now,
Yeah.
which causes him to leave the pocket a little bit early. And the injuries to Stephon Diggs and Nico Collins have played a major factor in CJ Stroud being able to make plays down the field. I don't think Nico Collins is playing this week in week 10, which is a problem for them going up against the Lions. But down the stretch, I think with Nico Collins coming back, you'll start to see them get back into a rhythm.
Yeah. No, I agree.
All right, we'll head into Sunday where the Cowboys lost to the Falcons 21 to 27. Dak injured, or did he just say that the Cowboys fucking suck and now they benched him?
Yeah, the funny little meme of like what should we think about the Cowboys this year? And he goes, Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Like I think it's a. I mean, let's be honest. I like Dak Prescott. I don't know. I don't really like him, but like
he's a good
he's
guy.
not he's not a bad guy from what I hear. And it's just the Cowboys. I think Mike McCarthy's probably gone in the next 3 weeks. You know, I
Yeah,
don't think he makes it out of November. And shit, man. I mean, I heard Zeke Elliott's playing like shit. You know, he's not knowing.
he's like missing meetings, not showing up,
Yes,
not taking it seriously.
not even traveling with the team. Like
Yep.
I'm very confused with what's going on there. It almost seems like the Packers when they unwrap. I mean, there's more drama than the Packers, but when Mike McCarthy lost the team in Green Bay, there was like reports that like him and Rodgers fought all the time, and like McCarthy didn't care anymore. Like I don't know. It's just interesting. You hate that to be the case, but like we'll see.
And then on the flip side, Falcons starting to string together a couple wins here. I mentioned it last week that Bijan Robinson is starting to really burst onto the scene right now. I think having Kirk Cousins as his quarterback has opened up a game, like an element to his game where defenses can't stack the box against him. Kirk can throw the ball down the field. Darnell Mooney is a playmaker. He's Kirk is like raising the talent of the guys on that roster to what they're capable of, and then probably a little bit further.
Yeah. We're talking about the Falcons.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think Kirk is the perfect quarterback for them and what they needed to get out of a rut on offense the last 3 seasons under Arthur Smith. And they're gonna probably just run away with the NFC South. I don't really see a team like now that the Buccaneers are kind of just. I could see the Buccaneers getting scrappy, but we'll see.
Buccaneers very injured. We'll get there. All right, next game, Dolphins 27, Bills 30. This was probably the best game of the 1 o'clock games on Sunday. Josh Allen, not a great first half. They went into the half down 10-6, came back in the second half, looked a lot better. Josh made Josh Allen type plays, the like lefty throw to that tight end. Tua had a near perfect game in this one, but came up short in the end.
Yeah, Tua. There's something about Tua and Mike McDaniel that they just work together. And I still think they need to get Jalen Waddle more involved. He doesn't get the ball enough. They have talent everywhere. Like they have a loaded running back room. They're finally a little bit healthier. Is it too late? I don't know. It's kind of like I put them in the same bucket as the Jets. Like they still can make a run, but they've got to start winning now.
They got to be
And
nearly perfect.
yeah,
I don't know if they can. They play the Rams this week on Monday Night Football.
and the Rams are hot.
Yep. Bills, like I just mentioned when we were talking about the Jets, they could end this thing early. They could clinch the division pretty early. There's if like things fall in place for them, they could basically win the division by Thanksgiving, which is fucking nuts. That's 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
All right,
So
next. Oh, yep.
no, go ahead.
All right, next game we've got Bengals 41, Raiders 24. I don't really like how the Raiders have 24 here. This game was 41-10. Uh, they got some garbage time touchdowns at the end. Bengals basically gave up. Joe Burrow, I told you, is on a warpath. 5 touchdowns in this game. Chase Brown also had a huge game. Out of Joe Burrow's 5 touchdowns as well, not a single one to Jamar Chase. Very odd.
I didn't watch a second of that game, so that's interesting to know that it was that big of a blowout.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They were kicking the shit out of them. Uh Now the Raiders have made some changes at the coaching staff. Fired their offensive coordinator, Luke Getsy. I think their quarterback coach is now the offensive coordinator. Not sure. I wouldn't say Antonio Pierce is on the hot seat, but they've got to make some changes, get something in place in order for them to draft a quarterback. of their future, whether it be Shadur, whether it be fucking Cam Ward, whoever. But they need to put things in place where that rookie quarterback next year can be successful. So they gotta start playing like the young guys.
Yeah, I'd say really quick. I'd say Luke Getzey, Nathaniel Hackett. They were both the offensive underlings for Matt LaFleur for his first 3 years in the NFL when Rodgers had his MVP seasons.
Hmm.
And I mean, like so far, the Matt LaFleur offspring have not been doing well. You know what I mean? Like, got Luke Getzey was the offensive coordinator for the Bears. He was fired.
Yeah,
Now with the Raiders.
as comparatively to like the Kyle Shanahan tree, which has McVay, LaFleur, Taylor, all these other
Yeah,
dudes.
but this is also like the Rodgers LaFleur era of coaches.
Hmm.
So like LaFleur was like neutered when he was with Rodgers. So like I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. All right, next game, Chargers 27, Browns 10. I saw this one coming from a mile away. The Chargers always have the Browns number. Uh,
This was
Brown
crazy.
Browns did not play well defensively. Two blown coverages by Juan Thornhill and Denzel Ward. Yeah, I'll put Denzel Ward in that sentence too, but in my opinion, it's mostly Juan Thornhill because it was cover two zone and Denzel Ward was passing the wide receiver off to the over the top safety and Juan Thornhill for some reason came up into the zone for some reason, leaving Josh Palmer open on one and Quentin Johnson open on another. Justin Herbert had a decent game, but like nothing to write home about. Obviously, like the stats are pretty good because Browns defense played shitty. Jameis Winston threw three interceptions, which is the Browns now have seen Jameis at his highest and at his lowest. Three interceptions and no touchdowns, three touchdowns, zero interceptions. That is Jameis
Yeah.
for you.
Jameis looked like shit. Your defense looked like shit. That
Yeah,
was bad. I mean, just like the Raiders game when you gave away 14 points. I mean, the that was a 27-3 game.
hmm.
That was a tough one.
Yep. And the worst part about it is the Browns easily could have won that game as well. And for some reason in this fucking mess of a season, you saw it in the Ravens game when I went back and watched the film. A lot of Jameis under center, play action, everything I've talked about leading up to that week. Last week with against the Chargers, for some reason they reverted back to let's split it out five wide and all this stuff. Let's have Jameis and Chubb next to each other in the backfield so Chubb doesn't get a running start. Like uh I don't know. It's a weird fucking season for the Browns. Just burn it to the ground, basically. Chargers, very good team. We all probably could have expected this with Jim Harbaugh taking over as the head coach. Justin Herbert's now revitalized. J.K. Dobbins is having a great year. What else can you say?
Um, J.K. Dobbins, great pickup. One of the best underrated pickups for the Chargers. That's all I'll say. I think the Chargers are. I've always said this season they're going to be right there for a wild card spot. I think they will be. I think they'll be fighting for that like 7 seed, and I don't see a reason why they can't get it.
Um, I mean, if you want your Jets to get in, the Chargers probably will have to not
Oh,
make
I
it.
know, but I mean, like the AFC is weak this year. Once you get past like the top five teams,
True, true. Um,
so
Next game, kind of a snoozer, but Patriots 17, Titans 20. The best thing to write home about this game is that this game went into overtime. Drake May had a great drive to go down the field, down 17 to 10 in the final minute of the game. Goes on this wild scramble and in the last play of regulation and somehow gets a touchdown to tie the game. Obviously, they go into overtime and the Titans end up winning it, but that was a good thing for Patriots fans to
that
see
was incredible. That was
is
an
Drake
incredible
May
play.
play that's yeah.
I was very impressed with him, and it reminded me of Jordan Love that last throw of the game, and then and overtime to blow it with the interception.
Hmm.
I'm like, that's exactly what Jordan Love would do.
Yeah.
But
Uh, both poor teams right now looking to rebuild a
yeah,
little bit more in the draft. Both go to
Bow show.
one's 2-6, one's 2-7 now. They're right where they want to be. Win a couple games, get a little bit of confidence, build on something so that next year you can take a jump. Next game, Commanders 27, Giants 22. Jaden Daniels didn't have a great day at the office. I would say their offense sputtered out a few times. I don't know if that's indicative of how good the Giants defense is, but he did have two very nice touchdown passes to Terry McLaurin. Giants offense looked not dead in the water, but like almost like it would stall. Like if you're driving a stick shift car and you release the clutch too early, it just stalled and hucklebucked. And a lot of it is Daniel Jones.
Yeah. I mean, shit. You know he's not the quarterback next year. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do though. It's a similar situation to the Browns where he's got so much fucking money. What are you doing with it? I guess they'll eat it. I think the Giants
They
have
have to. They have to after this year. Like they, you, someone's going to be fired. Like Joe Shane, the GM, will be fired if he hangs on to him next year. Like he can
100%.
cut sling load after this year and be safe because it was the guy he inherited. But if he keeps him for another year, it's his decision to keep him.
Yeah. And it was also his decision to let Saquon walk, which looks like one of the worst decisions right now.
Yeah.
Even though Tyrone Tracy's actually starting to play pretty well.
And I honestly, that's overblown because it's not like the Giants were going to be like a playoff team with Barkley, you
Yeah,
know?
that's true. That's true too. And
So why pay a running back top dollar when that's not going to win you games?
and it's gonna waste his career.
Yeah.
Next one, Panthers 23, Saints 22. Good game. Like shitty, but good game. Bryce Young,
I knew the Panthers were going to win.
I thought so too, but
Revenge game.
I saw they were in your picks, and I didn't want to pick with you on that one. I've been trying to stay like in different games than you, but good for Bryce Young, man.
I knew for sure the Panthers were going to cover, and I thought they would win, but I was like, shit, Derek Carr is back. Maybe the Saints offense is revitalized, but no, I'm happy for Bryce Young.
Saints fire Dennis Allen, like I mentioned earlier. Rizzy is now the head coach, not well, interim head coach. We'll see if that provides a little bit of juice for them going down the last 8 weeks of the season. Who knows? But Saints are basically in rebuild mode now as well. Next game, Broncos 10, Ravens 41. I said it at the top of this. This game on paper is a blowout, but watching it, the Broncos had so many opportunities to score touchdowns or have a big play, or like the Ravens got a penalty and gave them good field position and they just didn't take advantage of it. Uh, is that like the Ravens defense just standing tall and stopping them? Sure, but also the Broncos had chances. They just didn't
Yeah,
fucking seize it.
yeah. I mean, we talked about this game, so
Lamar Jackson, MVP type stuff, 280, three touchdowns. Zay Flowers, holy mackerel, 127, two touchdowns. And Derrick Henry, 106 yards, two touchdowns. Like
yeah.
it's
I'll
it's
say
a
that on.
machine right now.
I'll say that on. Flowers is a great player. Flowers might be one of the best receivers in the league next year.
He is definitely one of the most fun players to watch. When he is in open space, watch out.
Which think about that receiver class. What was it? It was Addison. He's a
Add
baller.
Addison, Flowers, Johnson,
Flowers, Johnston, and someone else.
Jigba.
Jigba balled the fuck out too. He had 150 yards.
Yep. Next game, Bears 9, Cardinals 29. Fire Matt at Eberflus now.
Uh, I don't know. They're still. If you were to tell the Bears that they would have this record going into week 9, I think they'd take it.
Week going into week 9, but they're about to go through the gauntlet of playing like all AFC North teams. NFC North.
Yeah, but like Packers play them after the bye, and I'm nervous. I'm not gonna lie.
Cole, just listen to this stretch right here. Listen to this stretch. Packers, Vikings, Lions, 49ers, Vikings, Lions.
Yeah, they're gonna win out.
That's that is a that is a gauntlet. Like they're gonna get smacked.
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
I think the biggest thing that makes me think that they should fire Matt Eberflus is that play before halftime where Garendo goes for 57-yard touchdown with seconds left on the clock. It looked like the defense just gave up. And DJ Moore is walking off the field during plays.
I
Like,
saw that. That was crazy.
but Cardinals feisty. They are a feisty team. I said it last week on the podcast. They can win on any Sunday against any team, I feel like. They show up. They even gave the Lions a pretty tough test.
Yeah, yeah.
Next one, your game, Lions 24, Packers 14. Dude, I really was mad at your Packers.
I mean, I knew it was gonna happen.
I, I was mad at them because they were able to move the ball so effectively, but then they would shoot themselves in the foot, like a false start, an illegal motion, someone drops a pass, like
We
they
outgained them by 160 yards, and it
it,
wasn't even like garbage time yards. It was like real yards that we were
it was
outgaining them.
the whole game you guys moved the ball up and down the field on them.
And then drop pass, turnover, drop pass, from like it was just
McManus misses a
bad
field
snap,
goal.
bad snap. Yeah, like also I said this. We lost the game as soon as LaFleur started to kick field goals and Campbell went for it. Like as soon as we went for field goals in the shittiest weather of like Green Bay history. I mean, not really, but like that was ugly weather. It was really windy. It was 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and it was pouring rain the entire game. And we're kicking field goals and not going for it on fourth down. We're trying to punt. Like we're taking false starts and go like no. Dan Campbell's going for it every fourth down. Like we should be doing the same thing.
It was literally the first drive. You guys drove right down the field, got to like what, the 2 yard line, kicked a field goal. The next
Yeah,
drive, the ensuing drive that the Lions had, drove
same
right
thing.
down the field, but they went for it on fourth and goal and got a touchdown.
Yeah,
Because even if you miss it in that type of weather, the chances of a quarterback fumbling a snap, which we saw in that game in his own end zone, the chances are much higher, like a 30 or a 25% chance. I don't know. It's just like pinning them deep, even if you miss the touchdown, like com
massive.
like still changes the game.
100% agree. We
Josh,
we're out coached in that game.
I don't know about outcoached, but maybe outballsed. Like Dan Campbell.
Love, love, Love has got to clean up some of his stupid decisions. He was hurt. That was what caused it. He wouldn't go in under center because he's doing like shotgun stuff. Our center was out, so we had our really good left guard in center and couldn't snap the ball in shotgun. It was a
Yeah.
perfect storm. Like you don't want to play shotgun in the rain. We played shotgun in the rain. You don't want to have a center that's never snapped the ball for the last 2 years
Yep.
be center for a shotgun type of game. And you don't want your quarterback that's hurt that can't move his left leg, fucking getting bad snaps all on his left. So it was annoying.
He really needs to clean up these fucking shitty interceptions. Like that one to Kirby Joseph is outlandish.
Horrible. Yeah.
Um, and like you could say that that's a pretty big difference in this game too, is
Yeah.
losing by 10 and you give up a defensive touchdown. All right,
He's
next,
Pat Mahomes and then he's Will Levis. But
yeah,
continue. Yeah.
next one, Rams, Seahawks, Rams 26, Seahawks 20. This game went into overtime. You mentioned it a minute ago. Jackson Smith and Jigba. Holy shit, this dude. I've thought it for a little while now that like he is due to explode, and did he fucking go off? 7 receptions, 180 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was instrumental for them to get into position for that
Overtime. Yeah.
the touchdown in order to push it to overtime. He caught the pass too.
Yeah. he had the fourth down. It was a long fourth down. They got it because it was like a 40-yard pass downfield to him. And then the next play he got a touchdown.
Yeah, and Geno Smith,
Tough catches.
Geno Smith, like he's like a Jameis Winston where he has the good and he has the bad. Like three touchdowns, three interceptions. Like this, if he doesn't throw the three interceptions, Seahawks win this game by probably 10 points. But Rams are a good fucking football team right now, and you can't make those types of mistakes against them. And the Seahawks, I'll give Mike McDonald credit for him to go for it on that fucking fourth down in overtime because he knew if he kicked a field goal, Matthew Stafford would drive down the field and score a touchdown.
You know who lost the game was? No, I agree with you on that. But who lost the game was uh what do you call it? Who's the corner? The really good corner, Woolen, Tariq Woolen.
Yeah.
He sucked. Like he was getting ate up against the Rams in this game. So like I felt bad for him after they lost because he just like had a puppy dog face when they lost because every single big play by the Rams offense was against him.
Yeah, and the Rams didn't even have Puka Nakua. He throws a punch early in the game and gets ejected. So it kind of makes it a little bit even like a little bit more shocking that the Rams were able to sneak this one out in Seattle.
Yeah.
All right, next one, Sunday Night Football, Colts at Vikings. Vikings 21, Colts 13. Sam Darnold didn't look good in this one for the first half. Joe Flacco didn't look great against the Vikings defense. The second half comes around, Sam Darnold settles in. The Vikings are able to get some chunk plays to Justin Jefferson, get Aaron Jones going a little bit. Sam settles in, three touchdown passes. Joe Flacco never really got anything going. A lot of people are like saying like, why wouldn't you play Anthony Richardson if these are like if this stat line because Joe Flacco had a pretty bad stat line. If this is what he's gonna put up, dude, Anthony Richardson, if he played in this game against Brian Flores' defense, he probably would have thrown six interceptions.
Yeah. I didn't watch a second of this game, so
It wasn't great, but
um
Vikings continue to roll.
I don't like that.
Sorry, bud. Monday Night Football, Chiefs 30, Buccaneers 24. Todd Bowles, you're a fucking idiot, dude. Buccaneers late in the fourth quarter, down 17 to 24. Patrick Mahomes just scored a touchdown to DeAndre Hopkins. Baker Mayfield takes you on a drive, and it was a drive in terrible weather, just like the Packer game. Down the field, Sterling Shepard with two very impressive catches, and then Ryan Miller touchdown. Instead of going for two, I forget how much time was on the clock. I think maybe 16 seconds. But instead of going for two and sneaking out a win, potentially sneaking out a win, he kicks the extra point and leaves it up to a coin toss of who's going to get the football in overtime. They lose the coin toss. Patrick Mahomes drives right down the field, touchdown. Just go for the 2 point conversion, man. You're already fucking like reeling as a football team. You have the momentum right now because you just pushed the ball down the fucking Chiefs defense throat and just scored a touchdown. You have all the momentum. Seize the day, dude, and fucking go for two. If you miss it, I think the entire nation understands why you did it.
I don't know. I I never fault a coach for doing that because
It's Patrick
if they
Mahomes.
don't get it, you're like, what the fuck? Your defense has been playing. Insert the blank adjective, which is like somewhat less than terrible. You should have let them play defense and fight for your 3 points to get a 7 points on the next. Like there's so many rebuttals to that. It's a 2020 thing.
My takeaway from it is Patrick Mahomes is on the other sideline. One, two, his Patrick Mahomes is converting on third down at 80% in this game. Three, their defense did not play well. Their defense was lucky that the Chiefs didn't put up more points.
Yeah, I mean, You watched the full thing, so I believe you.
I didn't. I just felt that the Bucks were primed to steal one right there, and they finally got something to go their way, and they fucking blew it. All right, let's head into second down, week 10. Fun, fun, fun. Today is Thursday, November 7th, and the Bengals are going to take on the Ravens in Baltimore. No T. Higgins for the Bengals, by the way. Baltimore minus 6.5.
Interesting. I mean, this would be a good game. It's going to be an important one too for the Bengals specifically. What's the Bengals record?
They are 4 and
Four and
5.
four, 4-5. Yeah, they. This is a huge game for them.
They have to win this one.
They're 4-5.
Yes, started very slow.
Yeah.
Strung a couple wins together. Had a game against the Ravens where they dropped that fucking 35-35 game to them where they went into overtime and then they won a couple in a row after that. Still 4 and
Hell yeah.
5.
Let's see. I wouldn't be shocked if they win.
I wouldn't be shocked either. The uphill battle is the fact that they're in Baltimore, is my opinion on the whole thing. All
Yeah.
right, next game we'll head into Sunday where we do have a overseas game in Munich, Germany. Panthers, Giants. Giants are 6.5 point favorites.
Um, I would put it because their defensive line is vicious. Brian Burns revenge game. Dex Lawrence. I mean, that's an incredible defensive line that the Giants have, which can win you games single handedly. No matter how bad your offensive line is, if your defensive line is so dominant, like I don't know. I
I
mean,
want to say that
that's
each of them have 12 sacks.
no, they don't have 12.
I'm pretty certain.
Lawrence has like 9.5, and he's leading the league.
I'll look it up. Keep going.
But I mean, that's really all I have on that game. Is I think the Panthers have a really bad offensive line, and they expect the Panthers to not be able to protect Bryce Young. And Bryce Young, when he's not protected, is the worst quarterback in the NFL to date. So if you can't protect him against a good defensive front, you're probably not going to have a lot of chances.
Tackles for loss. That's what I
But
meant.
he's at 9 sacks.
Tackles for loss is what I meant.
Yeah.
For some reason, ESPN divides tackles for loss and sacks because Brian Burns has more sacks than tackles for loss. Anyways, yeah, not gonna watch this game. I hope both teams have fun in Germany. Next game, Patriots at Bears. Bears are 6 point favorites at home. I could see them potentially winning this game by 6. I could also see them just flat out losing.
It's Bears who?
Patriots,
Oh, Bears are winning. Easy. By like 3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns. I mean, the it's 6 right now. Do you want to raise the ante to 21?
I'm going to pick the Bears in that game.
Okay.
Where is it
Uh,
at? Gillette?
no, it's in Chicago. Chicago.
Oh, easy, dude.
Uh, all right. Next game, Bills at Colts. Bills only a 4 point favorite over the Colts. A little bit of surprise at that point spread. Maybe Vegas knows something that we don't.
Yeah. Colts are a feisty offense when they're playing well. I mean, that's an easy thing to say.
Yeah,
Anyone's feisty when they're playing well.
I think
Um,
I think they are too, especially with Flacco.
their roster, their deep receiver, they've got Jonathan Taylor. They've still got some really good offensive linemen. I mean, they can win.
They definitely can win, and if they establish the run, I would say this game. It will be a lot closer than what we probably like the general public thinks.
Is it an Indy?
It's in Indy.
Okay, that's why it's 4.
Yes. Okay, next game. I've got Broncos at Chiefs. I'm excited for this game. I'm excited for this game for multiple reasons. Main one being that I believe that the Broncos just probably had their lowest moment as like this season, getting their teeth kicked in by the Ravens. I think the Broncos defense is very good, like you've said, after watching them for multiple weeks now. I think that they can potentially steal one here and be the first loss for the Chiefs, even though the Chiefs are 7.5 point favorites.
Yeah, I'm picking the Broncos in this game.
Love it. Love it. All right, next one. Falcons at Saints. Falcons 4 point favorites. Maybe the Rizzy being the head coach is going to be the difference.
Yeah, I mean those the Falcon Saints matchups are always like really close. You know what I mean? It's always a battle to the end. It's going to be a one possession game. Freaking Cam Jordan didn't even go into the locker room after the game last week. He couldn't even walk in. Like, there's some turmoil there. Um, but again, I think the Falcons have a good team, and I don't even like saying this because I'm probably wrong, but I feel like they're a little bit overrated,
Yeah, I mean
and they
their
could.
their
And,
schedule's been light.
but I'm going to be honest. I think the Packers are have not played up to their record either. Like, I think both teams. You could say that about a lot of teams, but yeah,
Yeah, I see what you're saying. All right, next one, 49ers at Buccaneers. 49ers are 6 point favorites.
at Buccaneers.
Yep.
That would be a huge opportunity for the Bucks to win. I'm rooting hard for the Bucks. 49ers are right in that time of season where they're just going to start kicking it into gear. Come December, they're going to be Super Bowl favorites. Like they're going to win 4 straight, and then we're going to be talking about them in December, and they're going to be the 2 seed or 3 seed, and they're going to win the whole fucking NFC again. They're going to play the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
So the thing about what I was saying earlier about the Buccaneers not going for it for that 2 point conversion is they knew that they were playing the 49ers this week. And the 49ers are coming off a bye, and the Bucks are playing on a short week. You steal that game against the Chiefs, this game against the 49ers, I'm not saying it's not as important, but it's not as dire of a win.
Yeah, I would agree.
That's like part of what part of my train of thought about before was. But I do agree. I'm rooting hard for the Buccaneers. Go bake, go bake. Next one, Steelers at Commanders. Commanders only a 2.5 point favorites at home. Commanders have been rolling over some bad teams. This is probably their toughest team that they've played so far. What do you got, Jaden Daniels? Also, Steelers coming off a bye as well.
Uh, it's 2.5.
2.5.
I'd love for the Steelers to win this one.
Yeah, you would. You and your NFC uh hatred. I mean, you have every right to hate them, but
I mean, I like the Commanders will be fun to root for in the playoffs if the Packers suck and are like out of it. You know what I mean? So like, I want the Commanders to do well this year, but like, come on, lose a game or two, please.
true. I can see that. All right, next one. Vikings at Jaguars. Vikings are 7 point favorites. Trevor Lawrence may not play.
Vikings at Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence might not play. Uh, yeah. I mean, I'm going to take the Vikings easy.
Nice. All right. Next one. Titans at Chargers. Chargers seven
The
point
fuck?
favorites.
Yeah, boring game. What are we doing here? You know what I mean? What the fuck is this?
What are we doing here? What are we doing here? And that's one of the 4 o'clock games,
Chargers.
of course. Next game. Eagles at Cowboys. Probably America's game of the week. Eagles 7 point favorites. I don't think Dak is definitely not playing.
Yeah, this game I'm only interested in watching because I want to see the Cowboys fall apart. That's it. This
Set
is the week that,
set the
like, can
city
you
on
fire
fire.
Mike McCarthy? Can you fire Mike McCarthy after a backup quarterback loss? Like, that's kind of
Mm.
a
I've seen it
poor
happen with
man.
the Browns, so yes.
It's a coward's way out, but like, I mean, I feel like he's just set up to like Dak Prescott. You know how the jokes about like, oh, he just happens to hurt his hamstring. Right after he says he hates the team, or
Yeah,
he fucking suck. They fucking suck. What if he's like working with Jerry Jones to get his coach fired? I'm kidding, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. All right, next one, Jets at Cardinals. Big game for your Jets. Jets are 2 point favorites.
That's weird. At Cardinals and they're 2 point favorites. I would have
Yep.
thought they'd be underdogs.
Nope, 2 point favorites.
A little bit shocking, but that's a good game. That's a 4 p.m.
425. Yes.
That's the best game on the 4 p.m. slate.
Yeah, now that Dak is hurt. Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Sunday Night Football, Lions at Texans. Lions 3.5 point favorites.
Lions are going to win that game by 21 points.
Yeah, I mean, the Texans' defense hasn't been great either lately.
Texans are not as good as people think they are. And I say that as a team, the Packers, that beat them and we didn't even play our best and we beat them. And like, Texans haven't beaten a good team this year. And the Packers' only good team they beat is the Texans. And maybe the Texans aren't that good. So, like, I don't know.
I see
I'm,
what you're doing there.
I'm second guessing what they are until they maybe they kick it into gear the second half of the season. We'll see.
Yeah, I put a lot on this Nico Collins injury, and it shouldn't be that way, but CJ Stroud just hasn't looked the same since he got hurt. Next game, Monday Night Football, Dolphins at Rams. Rams 1 point favorite.
That's Monday Night Football.
Yes,
That's a good game. That's going to be fun offense to watch. Both sides.
I think so
There's
too.
going to be flashy plays galore. I think that's going to be a high scoring Monday night, good ratings. Like both fan bases are non-existent, but for all the non-Dolphins fans and non-Rams fans, it's going to be fun. You know,
Yeah. All right. That concludes second down. We'll go into third down, best and sneakiest matchup. My best matchup right now, I'm just going to do mine. I'll probably have to remind you about some games. Best matchup, probably that Sunday night football game, Lions at Texans. Points. Just score points. I want to see a lot of points. I'm tired of primetime games not having a bunch of points. Sneakiest matchup, 49ers Bucks. Two teams that are desperate for a win, one coming off a bye, one coming off a Monday night football heartbreak. We'll see. What do you got?
I'm going to go best matchup tonight. Bengals Ravens.
Love that. I love that.
Um, Second best matchup, I think, or sneakiest matchup. I think the Steelers Commanders is really good.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one too. I like that game. I'm gonna be tuned into that game. Oh yeah, no Browns this week,
Yeah,
so or Packers.
yeah, we got 2 bye weeks together.
Yeah. One pretty good
Joku,
team,
Njoku, and
one terrible
Kraft.
team.
My tight ends are just fucked.
All right, fourth down, favorite and upset. Last week, Cole had the Vikings for his favorite team. Check that box. He's now 4-5 on the year. His upset of the week was the Panthers. Good going there, Cole. He's now 3-6 in that category. My favorite was the Bengals over the Raiders. I am now 6-3 there, and I picked the Patriots over the Titans. Fall to 3-6 there. Fave and upset, Cole.
Um, my upset is the fuck. The Bears are underdogs, right?
No, they're favorites because
No,
they're
they're
playing the
favorites.
Patriots.
Um, shit. Who was I thinking about that's desperate for a win?
Buccaneers over the
Oh
49ers.
no, no. The Dol Broncos over the Chiefs.
You're taking the Broncos or the Chiefs?
That's my upset, not my lock.
Broncos. Broncos is your upset.
Yeah,
Okay. I was thinking
yeah.
about taking that one, so I'll take a different one. All right, we're doing upsets first. My upset will be I'm gonna take the Bengals tonight.
My lock is the Detroit Lions.
Your lock is the Lions. I like that. My lock, I had a layup of a fucking upset that I was gonna take, but your ballsy pick with the Broncos made me want to take a ballsy pick. My lock, I'm gonna take fuck it. Give me the Giants to beat the Panthers in Germany.
What's your upset?
Bengals.
Okay, all right.
My upset I would have taken if you didn't take that ballsy pick was the Steelers over the Commanders.
Interesting.
All right. All right, let's go into pick six. Reviewing last week. So last week, week nine, Cole went 4-2. That takes him to 28, 25, and 1 on the year. I went 4-2 as well. Takes me to 36 and 18.
Wow, are you cocky right now or what?
No, I feel good. Like I said it on the podcast last week that I really want to keep at this pace. And I don't know, man. That's selling material to maybe a sponsor that I've been that good this year.
I was that good last year.
No, you weren't. We were
Yeah,
barely above
yes, we were.
500.
Yes, we were.
We were
No,
barely above
what was
500, dude.
I want to check the facts.
I have the press clipping.
The press clipping.
Well, the screenshot of the graphics I used to make. But all right, pick six.
Yeah.
Give me your first pick while I pull this up.
Um, first pick is the uh, um the Bengals to cover.
Bengals to cover, so 6.5.
Yeah,
All right, my
I'm
first
not
pick.
looking at them in front of me. Right?
Yeah, I'll write it down for you, like always. My first pick, Steelers minus plus 2.5. Plus
Okay,
2.5.
I'll go
Uh,
Commanders minus 2.5.
Commanders minus 2.5. I like that. Coming back at it. Next one I got Cardinals plus 2.
Give me the Bears.
-6.
Yep.
Alrighty. Next one I got Lions -3.5.
Give me the Cardinals plus two as well.
Cardinals plus 2. All right. Rams -1.
Lions minus 3.5.
Lions -3.5. All right. Broncos plus 7.5.
That's also my pick. You're picking my lock and my upset. I'm picking those two as well. Broncos plus
Plus
7.5.
half. Okay. And I took Bills -4.
Okay.
All right. I don't know if I cashed anytime touchdowns. All right. Last year you were 59 and 47. I was 56 and 50.
Yeah, I hit a slump though, second half of the year. I was much better. I was 37 and 17 last year.
So that would have been around November 1st. All right. November 1st. What was Cole's record? On November 1st, Cole's record was 26 and 22 of last year.
No, it was not.
I literally have it. Your
You're
your
wrong.
record the
That's your
week after
record.
that was
Your
29 and
record was
25. The record I had
Your
at that
record?
time was 29 and 25. I remember this. We were
No,
like neck and neck for like the longest
no, we
period of
weren't.
time. Yes, we were.
Bullshit. I was always above you. I was
You were
always
then you were 33 and 27. I fell off. I was 31 and 28 and 1.
trash.
Both of us pushed one. The week after that, you were 35, 30 and 1. I was 34, 31 and 1. The week after that, this is great podcasting. Uh, you were 36, 35 and 1, and I was 37, 34 and 1. There,
You were never ahead of me.
I know for a fact we were neck and neck like the entire year.
Um, yeah, I always love how facts become opinions and opinions become facts. Uh,
All
but
right, give me an
speaking of
anytime
that,
touchdown. Give me an anytime touchdown.
anytime touchdown, uh, Kamala Harris back in the White House. That's a
Oh my
touchdown right
God,
there.
don't do that.
Yep,
Don't do that. Oh, jeez. Um,
back in the White House, right where she belongs, in the White House till
God,
November or
God,
till January. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
give
I'm I'm neutral.
give me Alvin Kamara and Bijan Robinson both to score touchdowns.
Give me Allen Robinson. You said?
Alvin Kamara.
Oh,
I
Allen
was even
Robinson.
looking at his name too.
Um, interesting. I will go Jameer Gibbs, 2 touchdowns.
Ooh, two touchdowns. All right, that's it for MnM going deep. I have nothing out of any other sport like I've been doing. Baseball's over. Hockey's just started. Rangers are on right now. Um, ooh, give me your pick, Alabama or LSU.
Um, where is it at?
I think they're playing in Baton
LSU,
Rouge.
right? Give me Bama.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Bama because I don't trust Nussmeier. Yeah, Bama,
Yeah.
LSU at home.
Hey, good South Carolina Texas A&M game.
I was
Blew
there.
them out. I know.
I was at the game.
I had a feeling that would happen.
I thought so too. Going into that game, I thought that South Carolina was going to crush them. The biggest thing that happened that South Carolina has been missing all year is their running back Raheem Sanders. Yes, that's his name, Raheem Sanders. He was back from injury that game, and he went off.
They're the best, like right around 500 team in football. Like there's no one wants South Carolina on the schedule.
Yeah, nobody wants to play them right now, and Clemson has to play them later on.
Yeah.
And Clemson laid a
So
dud last week against Louisville.
yeah, I think Clemson's always overrated.
But the 12-team playoff, it's getting interesting. We'll probably talk about it much more when we both have more time, but it's getting interesting. These two games in the SEC this week are big. Georgia at Ole Miss and Alabama at LSU. Army's got a decent game too.
I know. North Texas is like the
North
second
Texas,
best team we play. What?
besides Notre Dame.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's a big. North Texas is a good football team. They really are. I think they were like a one-loss team, and then they like lost two straight. But like, they are. North Texas has always given us trouble. I think North Texas covers in this one, and we'll see. But I mean, even if we win, we're gonna get our ass kicked by Notre Dame. So we'll see.
I would love it if if somehow Army upsets Notre Dame. That would be
Oh,
like
it would be the coolest thing I've ever seen in football. Like,
that's
it
like
would be crazy.
Vanderbilt beating Alabama this year.
Yeah, like
It's
Notre
probably
Dame
bigger
beat the
than
shit
that.
out of Navy.
It's probably bigger than that.
Yeah.
All right, that's a wrap for MnM going deep. Everybody, thank you for listening. Subscribe, whatever, retweet the thing. Fucking love us, show us some love. We love you guys. Have a great weekend. Go Pack Go.